Hello. Today I'm going to be reading some Camping and Woodcraft by Horace Kepart. Chapter 2 Outfitting by St. Nicholas. I have a sudden passion for the wild wood. We should be free as air in the wild wood. Why, what say you? Shall we go? Your hands. Robin Hood. Alright. In some of our large cities, there are professional outfitters to whom one can go and say, so many of us wish to spend such a month in such a region, hunting and fishing. Equip us. The dealer will name a price, you pay it and leave it to rest to him. When time comes, he will have the outfit ready and packed. It would include everything you needed for the trip. We've selected and of the best materials when your party reaches the jumping off place. It will be met by professional guides and packers who will take you to the best hunting grounds and fishing waters, and will do all the hard work of paddling, packing over portages, making camp, chopping wood, cooking, and cleaning up. Besides, showing you where the game and fish are using and how to get them. In this way, a party of city men who know nothing of woodcraft can spend a season in the woods very comfortably. Though getting little practical knowledge of the wilderness, this is touring, not camping. It is expensive, but may be worth a price to such as can afford it. And who like that sort of thing, but from the expense of the kind of camping? It seems to me that whoever takes to the woods and waters for recreation should learn how to shift for himself in an emergency. He may employ guides and a cook, all that, but the day the disaster may come, the outfit may be destroyed, or the city man may find himself some day alone, lost to the forest and compelled to meet the forces of nature in a struggle for his life. Then it may go hard with him indeed, if he be not only master of himself, but that a master of woodcraft, which holds the key to nature's storehouse. A camper should know for himself how to outfit, how to select, and how to make camp, how to wield an axe, make proper fires and cook, wash, mend, how to travel without losing his course, or what to do when he has lost it, how to trail, hunt, shoot, fish, dress game, manage boat or canoe, and how to exemplarize such makeshifts as may be needed in a wilderness faring. And he should know these things as he does the way to his mouth, then he truly a woodsman, sure to do promptly the right thing at the right time. Whatever befalls such a man has an honest pride in his own resourcefulness, a sense of reserve, a force, doughty self-resilience that is good to feel. His is the confidence of the lone sailorman, who whistles as he puts his tiny bark out to sea. And there are many of us who, through some mixture of the fates, are not rich enough to give carte blanche orders over the counter. We like silk tents, air mattresses, fiber packing cases, all that sort of thing. But we would soon go broke if we started in at that rate. I am saying nothing about guns, rods, reels, such like, because they are things that every well-conducted sportsman goes broke on anyway. As a matter of course, I am speaking only such purchases as might be thought of extravagant, and it's conceivable that some folks might call it an extravagant to pay $35 for a thing to sleep in, when you lie out of doors on the ground, from choice of $30 for pots and pans to cook when you are playing hobo, as the underage callers sport to practice shrewd economies and such things help out. If you are caught slipping in through the back gate with a brand new gun, when everybody knows that you already possess more guns than you can find a legitimate use for, if one begins, as he should, 6 months in advance to prepare for his next summer or fall vacation, he can, by gradual surreptitious hoarding, Get together a commendable camping equipment, and nobody will notice the outlay. The best way to make many of the things yourself, this gives you pastime, an air or of thrift and probabilities. The layers and penetrates by keeping you home o' nights, and there is a world of solid comfort and having everything fixed just to suit you. The only way to have it so is to do the work yourself. One can wear ready-made clothing, he can exist in furnished rooms, but a ready-made camping outfit is a delusion and a snare. It is sure to be loaded with grimcracks that you have no use for, and lack of something that you will be miserable without. It is great fun in the long winter evenings to sort over your beloved duffel to make it fill up the little boxes and holes in which everything has its proper place, to contrive new wrinkles that nobody but yourself has gigantic brain to conceive, to concoct mysterious dopes that fill the house with uncommon smells, to fish around for materials in odd corners where you have no business, and generally to set the female members of the household buzzing around in curiosity, disapproval, and sundry other states of mind. To be sure, even though a man rigs up his own outfit, he never gets it quite to suit him. Every season sees the downfall of some cherished scheme, the failure of some fond contrivance. Every winter sees you again fussing over your kit, altering this, substituting that, and flogging your wits with the same old problem of how to save weight and bulk without sacrifice of utility. All thoroughbred campers do this regularly as the birds come back in spring, and their kind has been doing it since the world began. It is good for us. Misguided genius should be. It is good for us if some misguided genius should invent a camping equipment that nobody could find fault with. Half their pleasure in life would be swept away. This is not saying that outfitters' catalogs should be ignored. Get them, by all means, study them with care. Do this as at home, comparing one catalog with another, that you may know just you want and what you don't want before you go out and make purchases. Then you will not be such as easy prey to the plausible clerk, and your selection will bear the stamp of your individuality. The joys and sorrows of camp life and the proportion of each to the other depend very much upon how one chooses his companions, granting that he has any choice in the matter at all. It may be noticed that old-timers are apt to be a bit distant when a novice betrays any eagerness to share in their pilgrimages. There is no churlishness in this. Rather, it is commendable caution. Not every good fellow in town makes a pleasant comrade in the woods. So it is that experienced campers are chary of admitting new members in their lodges. To be one of them, you must be of the right stuff, ready to endure trial and privation without a murmur. And what is harder for most men to put up with, petty inconvenience without grumbling. For there is seamy side to camp life as to everything else. Even in the best of camps, things do happen, sometimes that are enough to make a saint swear silently through his teeth. But no one is fit for such a life who cannot turn ordinary ill luck into a joke, and bear downright calamity like a gentleman. Yet there are other qualities in good camping mate that are rarer than fortitude and endurance. Chief of these is a love of nature for her own sake, not the put on kind that expresses itself in gushy sentimentalship, but that pure, intense, thorough, ordinary, mute affection which finds pleasure in her companionship and needs none other. As Oliver Shearing says, it is not who praises nature, but he who lies continually on her breast and is satisfied, who actually untied to her. Donald G. Mitchell once remarked that nobody should go to the country with the expectation of deriving much pleasure from it as country, who has not a keen eye for the things of the country, for scenery, or for trees, or flowers, or some kind of culture, to which a New York editor replied that Of this, not one city man in 1,000 has a particle of his in his composition. No doubt a gross exaggeration, but the proportion of city men who do thoroughly enjoy the hardy sports and adventures of the wilderness certainly much larger than those who could be entertained on a farm. Yet the elect of these ones who can find plenty to interest them in the woods when fishing and hunting are not to be found on everyday street corner. If your party be made up of men experienced in the woods, hire a guide, and if there be more than 3 of you, take along cook as well. Treat your guide as one of yourselves. A good one deserves such consideration. A poor one is not worth having at all. But if you cannot afford this in expense, then leave the real wilderness out of account for the present. Go to some pleasant woodland within the hall of civilization and start an experimental camp. Spend a good part of your time in learning how to wield an axe, how to build a proper fire, how to cook good meals out of doors, and so forth. Be sure to get the privilege beforehand of cutting wood, what you will need. It is worth paying some wood geld that you may learn how to fell and hew. There are good fare fishing and some small game hunting that you can have a jolly good time and will be fitted for something more ambitious the next season. In any case, be sure to get together accompanied good-hearted, manly fellows who would take things as they come, do their fair share of the camp's chores, and agree to have no arguments before breakfast. There are plenty of such men. Steel true and blade straight, then will your trip will be a lasting pleasure to be lived over time and time again after years. There are no friendships like those that are made under canvas in the open field. The following pages treat a matter of outfitting in detail that elaborate outfits such as desirable, for they are not, but because in towns there is so much to pick and choose from, there are many patterns of this the other article equipment and some goods for one kind of camping and some for another. I try to explain the points that the reader may choose intelligently according to his needs. It is good for us if some misguided genius should invent a camping equipment